Hey guys, we're Breed. I'm Jay Nieto.
Tito Blaze.
Matt Bloom.
Jake Bluchera.
Welcome to our Q&A.
You came up with it.
Yeah, I came up with it. I don't know.
This guy came up with it.
Yeah, it took us like 3 days to figure out what we really wanted.
3 weeks.
It was.
Maybe. It felt like 3 days. I don't know. We were thinking about it for a long time.
At first we were Slow Lake Drive, which just sucked, and then we were like, all right, we need a legit name, and for like 3 days we were just shooting out ideas, and
Imagine
then
not saying Slow Lake Drive.
Tito came up with Breed, and it was the only one that all of us didn't hate.
It stuck, yeah.
So it stuck, and it's definitely grown. It's definitely grown on us, and I think we got a good one.
Yeah, it looks good.
But credit goes to this guy.
Well,
This is a long story.
yeah,
this is a long story.
This is a bigger one. So I have this little. I've dabbled with bounce houses, and someone came up to me and asked for a bounce house and asked if I knew anybody that did live music, played rock and roll, and I was like, yeah, I do. I have a band. He was like, can you guys play 2 hours? I was like, yeah. And then I called Matt, and I was like, hey Matt, we need to find a drummer and a singer now. We got a 2 hour set in 2 months. So we went to this little underground little jazz thing, found this guy Tito, roped him in somehow.
we told him we were playing Pearl Jam, Metallica tunes, and it was going to be a paycheck, and so he was in, and then
we found
Jay.
No.
So we got Tito in the band, played the gig with a singer with a temporary
Prior one.
with a temporary singer that we had, and then he wasn't cutting it, so we.
Kudos to the kid for learning it.
He
in like a week.
Yeah,
We
he
found him
fucking
like
killed
a
it.
week before the show.
No, he definitely killed it, but we were looking for something a little different, and
A little more Venezuelan.
so me, Jake, and Tito stuck together, and we were just jamming without a singer for like 3 months, and then I put out ads everywhere, literally looking everywhere for a singer, and one day Jay hit me up through my Craigslist ad. He and I started talking about influences, fucking Metallica, Alice in Chains, and Motley Crue, etc. He came over to a rehearsal, auditioned, and we couldn't even hear him. Couldn't hear a word he was singing, but he was like going ape
was in
shit.
it.
On it.
Was in it.
Yeah, the president, he was going crazy. He was jumping up and down, fucking throwing shit around the room. He was like jamming with me, like coming up and just headbanging. And
He was doing that little guitar dance.
yeah, his little dance. And I 100%.
His little wiggle.
I 100% remember looking at Tito like at one point in the audition. I was like,
Yes.
we fucking got this. And then we sat him down and made him acoustically sing "Live Wire" by Motley Crue.
Well, when we sat him down, we were like, so, you killed it, but we can't hear you at all.
Yeah. So just sing for us with no background music, and he fucking killed it. And we've been a band ever since. And then we always wanted a second guitar player, but just couldn't find the right guy. So I was the only guitar for a while, and then
For like a year and a half.
yeah, for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and then our good friend Bentley that we've known since forever, since high school. For me,
Middle
he's
school.
also a super badass guitar player, and we wanted to fill in our sound a little bit more, so we hit him up, and here we are.
I have to add something too, about the audition, because it's like I always tell these stories. Like, when I found them, I remember I was still in college, and I haven't played in a band for a while, and I got really nervous because at the time I kind of have stage fright. A lot of people don't believe me, but I do, and I remember I had to take like 7 shots of tequila just before the audition. And I was so drunk, I had to call my friend Ruben. Who, I don't know.
Shout out Ruben.
Yeah, shout out to Ruben. I haven't
seen
heard
you
from him in
since.
a while, but he drove me there, and yeah, it was a blast. I never thought it was gonna be so complete. As a band, like they were so tight, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, you know, kick ass.
Now we live together.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Jay got tackled. Jay got tackled on stage. It was the last song in the set. Out of nowhere, Jay's just standing there.
Drunk British guy.
Drunk British guy.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He was
cool.
going through it. His story was like he got left in America trying to meet some chick, and she just never picked him up, and ended up at that bar and tackled Jay on stage.
Yeah, and then it was just like a dog pile. There was like 6 people fucking hopped in. I was like, what the? I looked to my left and it was just a pile.
But Jay was laughing the whole time.
Yeah,
like
that was funny.
Jay got tackled, and not even for a second was Jay like, "Oh, he's gonna kill me." Nah, he was like, "Ah."
Not like that, but I was cracking.
The whole time.
Yeah.
It was the funniest shit in the world, you know.
There's always
I mean, unexpected.
There's always the typical shit though. I mean, I think I break a string a show on stage. I've had straps fall,
Fitz
which
dropped a
always
whole
sucks.
guitar.
Fitz just dropped his whole guitar flat on the floor. Always technical difficulty, shit like that.
No, your
Tito
fever.
just didn't bring a tom stand.
Oh yeah.
Tito
No,
just
I
forgot
totally
a tom
I
stand.
showed up with my 2 kick drums and my floor tom and my snare, and I had no toms. So
we-
I had
we
to
played
play.
that shit.
Imagine middleman.
Yeah, dude. We tried using their mic stands that they had at the venue, and this sound guy almost like was gonna try and like kick our ass.
Oh, that
He
was
pissed.
stupid.
Well, we were
He was
setting it
pissed.
up. We were setting it up for like 10, 15 minutes.
That was stupid of us to do.
He came out. I don't know why. We were just trying to improvise, but this dude's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" We're like, "We're setting up the fucking toms on these 2 mic stands. You know, we're gonna make it work." He's like, "No, you're not doing that."
It could have worked. It was
Yeah.
working.
It was working.
It was
That
working.
was a less than great show.
I played that show with 3 bruised ribs.
The,
Same
yeah,
show.
yeah.
I had 3 bruised ribs.
the first show that we played with Jay was a battle of the bands we did like 2 years ago, and I was so stoked on it, and I got really sick like 3 days before, and I woke up the morning of the show with a 102-degree fever. It's like, I'm not fucking missing this show. Like, I'm not missing this show. And I went up and played, dying, just literally dying. I think I had like a 100-degree fever by the time I got up on stage. Played the show, and then just left. I was dying though. If you look at the footage, you can tell.
Yeah.
So shit like that.
Those ribs put me out. That was 2 shows in a row.
So there's always some fun shit though on stage. It never goes exactly how you think it's gonna.
Never.
Tito's had cymbals fly.
Yeah, a lot of fallen cymbals, you know.
A lot of fallen soldiers there.
Well, in my case, in Venezuela, everybody at school were listening to reggaeton, and I thought it was shit. But what got me into music was, I remember, you know, my parents' house. There were like 2 shelves, right? One shelf was full of salsa music, which was my dad's, and the other shelf was full of pop and rock music, which was my mom's. And you know, what got me into playing guitar was, you know, my dad's side of, you know, the shelf, you know, which was like mariachi stuff and guitar keys, acoustic guitar stuff. But what really was my calling was, you know, when I saw my mom's shelf and I saw Queen's The Game and, you know, Metallica and, you know, Guns N' Roses. She had some, you know, Guns N' Roses stuff, you know, rock set. And, you know, yeah, that's what actually got me started, you know, at that point.
So music's always pretty much been around in my life, but I really didn't I never really dug deep into music until my oldest brother Sean showed me Metallica. He pulled me into the office and I forgot what, he might have showed me like the worst album to show the first time, which was like Saint Anger. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And he said, he warned me, he's like, hey, this is like really different compared to what they usually come out with. But hated it. Yeah. But I dug it. That was the first thing I got into was Saint Anger, which is fucking weird.
That's real
weird. It's weird.
Real
yeah.
weird.
But I dug it, went into the rabbit hole. After that, I had, I think I had a drum set at the time, but I wasn't really using it all too much. And then I know I think I tried playing Enter Sandman because I felt like that was like the easiest song to try and pull off. Also, my brother also showed me my first drum beat. So I was like on my way of just being introduced into like being a musician and everything. So yeah, I would just listen to the songs. And this is when I was playing Guitar Hero also. So I was like all about music at this point, you know, just fucking playing Guitar Hero, trying to take those fucking motor skills and put it with the drums and all that stuff, and it really helped me out, and then just ran like the wind.
For me, music, a lot like Jay's, been around my whole life. My parents are both big into music. My dad's a classic rock guy, so I was growing up around Guns N' Roses and AC/DC and Tesla and Dokken. A lot of the 80s stuff was my dad's kind of vibe. And I remember he used to sing me Paradise City to sleep. That was my lullaby when I was a baby. And which is still my favorite song of all time to this day.
Still is his lullaby.
It still is my lullaby. But no, so my dad was kind of spearheading the whole rock thing, and I always listened to those bands. AC/DC. He's a major Rolling Stones fan, which are a huge band for me. And then my mom was into blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Joe Bonamassa. She's into country. She's a big Willie Nelson fan, Johnny Cash. So I kind of absorbed all of that, and then when I was a teen, like when I was like 12, so when I was just becoming a teenager, I found Green Day, which changed everything for me. And then I went down the rabbit hole and just slowly got heavier and heavier, and then eventually found Metallica and Pantera. My guitar teacher put me on to Pantera, and I was like, all right, I need to go heavier. And then, but I mean, for me, it just started from a young age. I was always absorbing rock music, whether I was, like, long before I was playing it, I was listening to nothing but rock. All obscure shit too, like Huey Lewis and the News, stuff that you wouldn't even expect. So I definitely have my parents to thank, and my old guitar teacher a lot to thank for putting me on to most of my shit. But,
Shout out Mike.
Shout out Mike, yeah, for sure.
Mine was a little different, I guess. I grew up in kind of like my whole family is all kind of just rockers, kind of through and through. No one kind of deviates, I guess. But my dad's a huge rocker. My uncle Mike, and my dad had this red bass, which I actually play with now. He gave it to me, but he would have it under his bed. I just remember being like 5, 6 years old, and I'd pull it out from under his bed, and then he would come in. And he'd be like, hey, what you doing? And they'd pick it up and start playing something. And it was always just like, damn, like, I want to do that. I want to be like that. And then my Aunt Lynn and Uncle Mike bought me my first guitar when I was like 8 years old or something like that. And then going into middle school, all I wanted to do was play bass, just like my dad. And it was all from that. That's actually where I met Fitz. I met him in jazz band on my like first day trying to play electric
Fitz
bass.
is Bentley,
Yeah, Bentley. But it was all from there. I played music all through high school. I was in jazz bands, orchestras, bands my whole life. I was a little nerd. But it was just seeing a bass when I was a child. That was it.
Am I gonna have to keep those burps in there?
You should keep the burps.
I hope so.
Well, for me, it was the first guy that inspired me to make music was my dad, actually, because I remember when I was like 4 years old, he was playing piano and it was amazing. But you know what really got me into that was like when he was playing like classical guitar. Like he's an amazing guitar player, and after that, after watching that, I just wanted to do the same thing. It was, I mean, he kind of pressured me into it. I didn't really want to do it at first. But then he was like, come on, try it. And after, a couple of times, I kind of liked it, and then I was unstoppable. And then he got me my first guitar, but he didn't expect me to go into metal. That was more of my mom's side. So it was kind of like, both of them got me into, that kind of musicality that I'm into right now. And, the whole, like, I remember forming my band, back in Venezuela, Metal Ash, with my best friend Pedro and Nico.
Shout out
Pedro.
Yeah.
Fucking shreds.
Some of those boys, they're really amazing, and I still my best friends. And we were listening to Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and it was the whole thing that like that kind of innocence that you have when you are like 12 years old and listening to stuff for the first time that gets you there. Yeah. Yeah, that was
Start
pretty
picturing
much it.
yourself up on stage and playing that shit.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much
what's
like
up.
those kind of visions, you know, like, you know, what would it feel like, you know, to just hold a guitar and play in front of like people or something, you know, that kind of feeling.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I'm gonna have to say my father as well, because my father was he's been a singer for pretty much all his life, and every time he performed, I was at a lot of his performances, and I think that was kind of my life for a long time. So I would notice I'd gravitate more towards the percussion side because he always had a big band. So it'd always be like congas, bongos, whole drum set, percussion section, you know, maracas, all that stuff. And so I think I just got the itch from that. He used to play drums as a kid. My brother used to play drums as a kid, so I think I just got it. I don't know if that itch is inside me, you know? So, yeah, I'd have to say that and fucking Lars Ulrich.
Yeah, like I said before, I was always listening to rock music. I always thought rock stars were like the coolest people, because they are. But I always knew I wanted to do something a little unconventional, and but I didn't know what exactly it was. And then when I was 12 years old, my sister was starting to look into colleges, and we were taking like a road trip up the East Coast to go visit all these colleges. And my mom got me a $25 iTunes gift card. And for whatever reasons, for whatever reason, I decided I was going to download a bunch of Green Day songs. And so for that whole trip, which was like a 2-week trip, I listened to nothing but Green Day. And I told my mom, I'm like, when I get home, can I get a guitar? And she was like, your grandma could get you one for Christmas or something. And my grandma bought me my first guitar for Christmas when I was 12. And I have the serial number tattooed on my arm. And it was Green Day, and I just locked myself in my room for 9 to 12 hours a day and just wouldn't sleep until I could play these songs. And then I heard I really listened. Once I started playing guitar, I started really listening to music differently and listening to guitar differently. And I really listened to the last minute and a half of Paradise City, where Slash is literally just going insane. And I still think it's the coolest guitar moment of all time, possibly. And that's when I realized that like I wanted to shred. Like for Green Day, it was like punk. It was, you know, power chords, which is still sick. But hearing that, I was like, that's what I want to do. And then got a guitar teacher and started learning like lead stuff. So pretty much a mix between Green Day and Slash and like teenage angst made me really want to actually play. Plus, it gets chicks, so that didn't hurt.
Making music, it was in the jazz world, it was all like reading music or orchestra. It was like reading music, playing exactly what they told you to do, doing exactly what was on the page, all that stuff. And then when I started playing jazz music, they would have these dashes with like a chord on top, and that gave you the freedom to do whatever you wanted to. So then I would just start doing whatever I thought like actually sounded cool. And me and my cousin Hannah, we would always write these songs for like our family, and they'd be like parodies or covers or of any song. We just completely annihilate it and make it our own. And then it just came off from there. We did that every year for like 7 years, at every like family event, just writing songs and stuff. And then I started listening to a lot of Black Sabbath and tuning my bass down, and it just kept going.
Well, the creative process, it's like, I feel it's like there's no any specific answer to that. It's just whatever flows. For example, you know, I have an idea, I record it, then Matt adds to it, like, you know, some of the riffs, and then we keep finishing it, and Tito comes and, you know, he does some, you know, drum parts that keep helping building the song. Then, you know, Jake can help out with some lyrics, you know, as well. Like, there's no one specifically in the band that, you know, it's like the sole person who does all the writing, you know. It's like everything is like teamwork, everything, like everybody contributes to absolutely anything. And I think that's really important to our writing process, especially for this album, because, you know, the songs that we have so far are really strong. And once people get to listen to them, they're gonna realize, you know, how like, you know, how well we work together as a band. So that's pretty much my answer to that.
Agreed.
Joe Duplantier from Gojara.
Rest in peace to God, Vinnie Paul.
Ooh. Also, rest in peace, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy.
Geezer Butler. Period.
Yeah, solid. I think we can all agree on Metallica, right?
Yeah,
So-
definitely Metallica.
I would say, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do whatever the fuck you want.
Don't fucking stop.
Yeah.
Don't stop at all. No matter what anybody says at all. Say you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Go against the norm.
Do what you want, be yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Juggling.
I can jerk off with my left hand. What's your useless talent, Jay?
It's a hard one. Drinking a bottle of wine an hour, maybe.
Fair. That's pretty easy. Though. I've seen you go in under 10 minutes.
I can do it. 17-second kickstand.
Yeah.
That's not a talent.
Way more hyped up though.
I think I could beer bong faster than anybody I know. No, I got that, dude. I'd be playing fucking golf. Golf or lacrosse or football.
Directing or writing
Rad.
screenplay.
I'll be probably studying psychology or, you know, cooking, you know, being a chef. I don't know.
I'm gonna make some
That's
mean
cool.
Pasta.
Man.
My mean pasta.
I didn't expect you to say cooking.
Be a contractor. I love building.
Now take your meat with the middleman. Now take your meat with the
Middleman.
Middleman.
Middleman all day.
Yes.
For sure.
That's the energy in it just alone, especially when you get towards the end.
Yeah.
Jay lets out that belt.
Yeah. No, we almost always end with it too, and everybody likes the, you know, when that clean guitar part comes in, everybody knows the song's coming. And it's a fucking 7-minute song, and you just get to go balls to the wall.
The whole song changes throughout.
Everybody's got really cool parts in it too. So I think we can all agree at Middleman for sure.
Especially when, you know, you listen to the people like shouting the lyrics and, you know, like in some parts, you know, like I never thought I would hear that. So it was like, it's an incredible feeling. You know,
Yeah,
just to
guys.
have-
Yeah, so we took a few months off from playing live to start working on the new songs for this album. Within the next few months, we should be in the studio. There's going to be about 12 songs on this record. It's going to be well worth the wait. We're super, super, super proud of the songs we have written already, and we're super pumped for what we're going to keep writing. So what's next for Breathe is just release this album. We're going to work with some top people in the business on that, and then hopefully book some kind of a tour. And then I think from there, just world domination, probably. So let's get into some fan questions now. This one's from Joshua Gomez Music. He says, my question is, what artist do you aim to emulate with your sound, and what message do you hope to spread with your music? It's a good question, Josh.
I'd say artists to emulate, it's kind of like a big pot of musicians. I don't know, when I explain to people what I think we sound like, I say we're not a screamy type of band at all, and we're not a classic like Led Zeppelin-y type of band. You could put us more in the category of like Pantera, but with like Black Sabbath and little Metallica with some Slipknot on the end, and still with the Guns N' Roses, and still with it's like a potluck.
Yeah, I think we do a good job of capturing a classic sound with modern elements. I mean, our musical influences. There's 5 people in the band, so it comes from everywhere. You know, if you listen, you can hear the blues influence, you can hear the Rolling Stones and Guns, and you can hear the Pantera, the Metallica. as well as the Slipknot and the Korn and the even some of the newer bands, Devil Driver, and you know, it's a fucking little bit of a mix of anything.
All of it.
If I had to say we're trying to emulate a sound, I mean, we're trying to emulate our own sound, but I think we're going for the more classic new age vibe, I would say. What message do we hope to spread with our music? Just aggression in the same thing. I mean, the same thing we said before. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Be aggressive. Be in everybody's face. Be loud.
Express yourself.
I think we're trying to bring back a little bit of attitude into rock and roll, which I think has been lost over the years. And I mean, whether it's from addiction to sex to aggression to fist fighting, whatever. I mean, we're just trying to spread the word of metal, I guess. I don't fucking know.
With what you feel at that time.
Yeah.
You know.
Do what you want. I guess that's the message we're trying to spread. If we can do it, you can do it. Next question from Hannah PVC, which is Jake's cousin. She was
HP Faux Twin.
Hannah Banana Francis.
Hannah. What's your guys' favorite song you've written? I think we all have probably different answers to that, but I mean, for me, it's Nonstop Misery, but Middleman is very, very, very close. The process of writing that song was so fun, but Nonstop Misery always holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I love Titillated with a passion, but I think Middleman was just it showed really the diversity of the band and all the different things we could throw in there and how we could actually write a bitchin' song totally just off the charts.
Together too. I mean, that song
All
was
the way
written completely collaboratively.
And changed throughout a year. Through a year, it was just new things. Oh, we should put this here, that there.
We always had something to add every time someone would come in. Every time we'd come in, we'd change some part, add some part. And what's cool is that it's got like a slow riff, it's got fast riffs, it's got like ballad qualities, so it's
Breakdown.
breakdown, everything.
Crazy guitar solos. If I do
It
say
has
so.
a little bit of everything, What I like about it is like it's so experimental, and we didn't compromise with that song, so that's why it's like, I'd say it's my personal favorite too, that we've written so far.
And
It's
I
like-
know that Hannah's answer to that question is 100% Middleman.
Fuck yeah. for me, it's Nonstop because I hold that close to my heart. But Middleman is, I think, our best song we've written as a band.
For sure.
Caddy Daddy 247, Caddy. Ranch or blue cheese?
Both.
No.
Both.
Ranch, but when I go with my family to Buffalo, they yell at me. They only do blue cheese.
Neither. They both suck.
He doesn't like anything.
Brandon Ribeiro, can Matt hit the guitar solo at the end of Freebird by Leonard Skinner? Yes, I can. I will send you a video, Brandon. This one's from Ahead of the Count podcast. My boy Mitchell runs that.
Mitchell Stockwell.
Super great podcast. We were on there like a year ago, and I'm about to do it again with him on Thursday. So definitely check out Ahead of the Count. Those guys are tight. Where is your dream spot to perform? Great question, Mitchell. I'm sure we all have a different answer for that. Personally, obviously, like the standard answer is like Madison Square Garden, is selling out that venue, but I would have to say Red Rocks in Colorado. There's something I think that's the coolest venue in the world. So there's a lot of answers to that question. For me, I'm gonna say Red Rocks.
Dude, I don't know. Anywhere that has 100 million seats, I'd love to play.
Shit, I don't know. Carnegie Hall?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
All
that's a
right,
deep
Tito.
point.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
sweet dope place.
All right.
The O2 Arena is up there for sure. Jay?
I'd say, between those two probably, Red Rocks or, Madison Square Garden, because, badass places.
For sure. Jacob Alexander. Fucking love you, Jacob.
OG. Actually, pretty much the reason, besides Fitz, that me and Matt know each other.
Yeah, Jacob's great. Shout out. For each member of the band, who has been your biggest musical inspiration? Jay, you want to start, buddy?
I gotta say probably, there's a lot of them, but if I have to mention right now, I'd say James Hetfield. it's like, you know, top notch. He's the guy. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, there's too many. But to narrow it down to like my instrument and who I'm most influenced by, it would have to be Vinnie Paul from Pantera.
Vinnie fucking Paul.
Vinnie fucking Paul.
Vinnie fucking Paul.
The heaviest fucking sounding drums I've ever heard.
I'm sure I'm reiterating myself, but Slash just changed everything for me. I think he's the ultimate guitar player. So yeah, it's pretty easy for me.
I'd say I go for a lot of Steve Harris mixed with Jaco Pastorius, little jazz maiden.
Okay. Thank you to everybody who sent in questions. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. We hope you guys enjoyed hearing from us a little bit, finding out more about us.
Do not forget, 27, all platforms, Nonstop Misery, YouTube. Check it out, give them some streams, and we'll see you next time.